Most people think the biggest threats to a relationship are obvious lies, welcome to emotional shadow betrayals, or fading attraction. But the real danger is far quieter, far more subtle, and almost always invisible until it's too late. It's the silent psychological battlefield inside each partner's mind, where expectations collide with fears, assumptions replace truth, and unspoken emotional narratives begin shaping the future of the relationship long before either person realizes what's happening. The mysterious hidden truth is this: relationships don't fall apart because of what is said, they collapse because of what remains unspoken, misunderstood, and misinterpreted in the private mental world each partner keeps locked away. To understand the roots of this silent war, we have to travel back to early psychological research on attachment pioneers like John Bowlby, Mary Ainsworth, and later researchers like Sue Johnson and Esther Perel. Their work revealed something shocking. Your brain is constantly running predictions, fears, and assumptions about your partner's behavior, based not on the relationship itself, but on past experiences, old wounds, and learned emotional patterns. This means two people in love are never just reacting to each other. They're reacting to the ghosts of their own history. This sets the stage for one of the greatest twists in relationship psychology. Two people can truly love each other and still find themselves drifting into conflict, distance, or emotional exhaustion without a single dramatic event. The silent war begins long before the first argument, quietly shaping the way each partner interprets the other's tone, silence, gestures, and choices. The origins of this issue usually start with childhood emotional blueprints. A child who learned that affection disappears when they express needs may grow into an adult who avoids vulnerability. Another who grew up around inconsistency may develop a hypervigilant mind that scans constantly for signs of rejection. When these emotional templates collide in a romantic relationship, a chain reaction begins. One partner withdraws to feel safe. The other anxiously moves closer, trying to reconnect. The more one pulls back, the more the other pushes forward, creating the classic pursue-withdraw cycle that silently destroys emotional connection. This isn't evidence of incompatibility. It's evidence of unconscious emotional strategies trying to protect each person from pain. As the relationship continues, the impact becomes more noticeable. Small misunderstandings begin turning into emotional triggers. A delayed text becomes a sign of indifference. A quiet mood becomes a sign of secret anger. A simple request becomes a perceived demand. The mind shifts from curiosity to defensiveness, from openness to self-protection. What started as a loving partnership slowly transforms into a battlefield of assumptions. Each partner starts assigning meaning to behaviors without verifying the truth. Internal narratives like "they don't care," "I'm not enough," or "they're re-losing feelings" begin forming emotional distance even when nothing is actually wrong in reality. This is the rise of the war. The moment thoughts become weapons, even when no harm was intended. Inevitably, there comes a breaking point, a moment where the mental tension becomes too great. A small conflict explodes in disproportionate intensity, not because of the issue itself, but because it uncovers months or years of suppressed emotion. A forgotten anniversary becomes proof of emotional neglect. A casual comment becomes a deep insult. A misinterpreted tone becomes a sign of disrespect. These moments are not caused by what happened, but by what the mind believed was happening. This is where emotional fallout begins. Trust is shaken not by actions, but by the meanings each partner assigned to those actions privately. The consequences on emotional intimacy are profound. Partners start withholding vulnerability because they fear being misunderstood or judged. They stop sharing their fears because they assume the other won't understand. They stop asking questions and instead create explanations in their own mind slowly. The relationship becomes two people living parallel emotional lives, each convinced the other is the source of the growing distance. Attempts to fix things often fail, not because the couple doesn't try, but because they focus on the visible conflict and ignore the hidden psychological war beneath it. They argue about the symptoms instead of the cause. They try new communication techniques but never unpack the stories, insecurities, and assumptions fueling the cycle. When we connect this pattern to modern relationship challenges, the picture becomes even clearer. Studies on digital communication reveal that more than 70% of emotional interpretation happens in the mind, not in the message itself. This means technology amplifies misinterpretation. A short reply becomes an insult. A seen message with no response becomes rejection. Social media deepens insecurity by constantly exposing people to comparisons, illusions of perfection, and attention dynamics that fuel jealousy and doubt. Modern life adds even more layers to the silent war. Work, stress, emotional burnout, fear of abandonment, social pressure to be the perfect couple, and the constant availability of alternatives, all of which intensify hidden fears and mental narratives. Patterns of manipulation also grow from this silence, sometimes intentionally, sometimes unconsciously. One partner might weaponize withdrawal to gain control. Another may use guilt to force emotional closeness. Silent treatments, passive-aggressive comments, exaggerated reactions, and emotional stonewalling become strategies in the mental battlefield where both partners try to win instead of understand. Communication breakdowns follow predictable cycles. Assumptions greater than misinterpretation, greater than emotional reaction, greater than distance, greater than resentment. These cycles repeat over time until the couple forgets what the original connection even felt like. The tragic truth is that most couples don't lose each other because of lack of love. They lose each other because of unspoken emotional realities. Neither knows how to reveal. Love becomes buried under layers of miscommunication, self-defense, and mental narratives that were never questioned. The relationship collapses, not from external storms, but from the silent war. Neither partner realized they were fighting. 3 powerful takeaways emerge from this hidden dynamic. First, your partner is not reacting to you, they are reacting to the meaning their mind assigns to your behavior. Understanding this breaks the illusion that your words and actions are interpreted at face value. Second, emotional safety net. Love is the foundation of lasting connection. Without safety, the mind shifts into defensive mode, creating distance, even in the presence of deep affection. Third, assumptions are the most dangerous silent weapon in relationships. Curiosity and honest communication disarm that weapon before it destroys trust. As we reflect on these hidden dynamics, it becomes clear that love is far more fragile than we imagine. Not because people are weak, but because the human mind is powerful enough to create illusions that feel real. The real threat is not the loud arguments or visible conflicts, it's the quiet misunderstandings, the unspoken fears, and the emotional interpretations happening in silence. Relationships survive when couples recognize that they're not fighting each other, they're refighting the invisible narratives inside their minds. If this deep dive into the hidden psychological battles of relationships gave you insight, clarity, or a new way of understanding your own emotional patterns, make sure to stay connected. Subscribe, share, or explore more videos on the channel that uncover the truth behind love, attachment, and the silent forces shaping every relationship.